Shalom, Kol Haloyim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, so apparently sometime yesterday, Trump made some kind of remark saying that there needs to be a change, or they need to look into the Smithsonian and maybe some other museums because they focus too much on how bad slavery was. And all that's happening is that these Edomites are ashamed of their past and they're trying to change it. You know, they're trying to change it, damn near get rid of it, what happened. And they're masking it under being progressive and moving forward and getting over the past and being optimistic, looking at what good came out of it. You know, it's all disguised, it's all masked under trying to be more positive and progressive. But these Edomites are ashamed. That's all it's coming down to. And they hate thinking about it. They hate knowing that it happened because it makes them look bad in the eyes of the general public. But the Bible talks about that. So what's happening right now is all a part of prophecy, things that we've been mentioning for a very long time. So we're going to watch this video and we'll grab some precepts after, Lord willing. It's edifying.
We move on now to President Trump declaring he's ordered a review of the Smithsonian museums and the American history on display. The president targeting what he calls woke exhibits, saying museums should focus more on America's, quote, brightness and not on, quote, how bad slavery was. Here's ABC's Chief Washington correspondent, John Carl.
Tonight, President Trump announced he has instructed his lawyers to scour through America's museums to rid them of exhibits he calls woke. Specifically, Trump cited the Smithsonian museums, saying they are, quote, out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Back in March, the president signed an executive order directing the Smithsonian Institution, which runs more than 20 museums in Washington and elsewhere, to, quote, celebrate American exceptionalism and remove divisive or partisan narratives. Last month, the Smithsonian removed references to Trump in an exhibit on presidential impeachments in the Museum of American History. Mentions of Trump's impeachments were later restored, although with changes. Now he's complaining about exhibits on slavery.
What do you think of the museum?
Honestly, it's fantastic. During his first term, Trump visited the Museum of African American History and Culture, which tells the story of slavery and celebrates African American accomplishments. Back then, he called it a, quote, truly great museum done with love.
This tour was a meaningful reminder of why we have to fight bigotry, intolerance, and hatred in all of its very ugly forms.
Even before Trump's comments today, the American Alliance of Museums said that no president has the power to impose the kind of review that Trump is demanding. The organization warned that Trump's actions, quote, represent a growing threat of censorship to museums in the United States. Mary?
Lots of questions about where this goes from here. John, thank you. We move on now.
Yeah, so if I heard that right, initially in his first term, he visited the African American Museum. Somebody asked him what he thought. Love it. Looks great, blah, blah, blah. This is an example of why we must fight bigotry. Now, in his second term, things changed. Hold on. The Smithsonian? Nah. It's focusing too much on slavery. We need to change that. But isn't that saying the same thing? Isn't it also showing how we must fight bigotry and racism in their eyes, of course? But nah, all it is true colors are being revealed in these end days. We're getting closer and closer. And that's why we believe that this is the man that, in our opinion, is going to be in office when everything goes down, when Jacob's trouble hits. And Lord willing, that really does happen. You know, it's just the first year of this man's term, within the first year. So we still got some time. We'll see. But that's how things are looking in terms of prophecy. But yeah, if they could do it, this man would just completely erase all history and facts and knowledge that slavery happened in the first place. That's exactly what they would do. That's what they want to do. But that's the devil for you. That's the devil. You do something wrong, you lie, you do all this bad crap, and then you try to just hide it. But that's not going to happen, right? So first, we're going to grab Isaiah 47 and verse 1. We're going to read down to verse 3. And we're going to read it in the NLT. It says, "Come down, virgin daughter of Babylon." This is referring to America. "And sit in the dust, for your days." Dust represents confusion. It also represents you just not being in a place of kingdomship anymore. So come down, virgin daughter of Babylon, sit in the dust, for your days sitting on a throne have ended. O daughter of Babylonia, or the Chaldeans, Babylon, never again will you be the lovely princess, tender and delicate. Take heavy millstones and grind flour. Remove your veil and strip off your robe. Expose yourself to public view. And that's what's happening right now. That's what's been happening for a very long time. You see, it just takes time, for lack of a better word, for certain things to take place to where Esau says, all right, at this point, it's too much. It's getting out of hand. We have to put a stop to this. We have to put a halt to that. We can't do with this anymore, right? And that's what's happening now with slavery. All right, at this point, look, we got to get it out of the museums. I think somewhere down south, either Texas or Florida, it was in certain schools or different counties. They were trying to get rid of it as well. And he's calling it, we got to get rid of these woke exhibits. People are too woke. They know too much. But this man has been exposed. Expose yourself to public view. Now everybody's pointing at this man, especially with the so-called, I'll just say so-called Jews over there in the Holy Land. Now everybody is pointing their finger at them because they're exposing themselves on just the kind of devils that they are. Everybody sees it. So this is all prophecy taking place right before our eyes, things that would be happening in these end days. It should uplift our spirits and boost our faith to where we should say, yes, through the Holy Spirit, we're right. We have the proper knowledge. We know who Esau is. We know that America is Babylon. This man is being exposed, which means that he is going to be taken out. He's going to be taken down and he will sit in the dust. Verse 3 says, "You will be naked," meaning ashamed, "and burdened with shame." There it is, saying the same thing. "I will take vengeance against you with pity." Right? And the King James is better on that one. "I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man." So now that we know Esau is being exposed, we know that the virgin daughter of Babylon, or Babylon the Great, is America. Great. Now that we know that, when we hear precepts like verse 3 saying the Lord is going to come back and take vengeance, we have to believe that too. So this current world is not the end all be all. This is not it. Esau is not just going to put us in slavery and then he just runs off and everything is just forgotten. No one knows about it anymore. It's out of sight, out of mind. That's what he wants. Nah, this man is going to be taken down by Yahushua when the Most High Yahweh gives him the go-ahead. And Yahushua is going to destroy Babylon the Great, which is America, and he's going to gather his elect out of America and out of the four corners of the earth. All the Israelites that have been destined to receive salvation. I'm going to read this real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 41, verse 7. It says, "The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake." And in spirit, that's exactly what Trump is doing. And more than likely from the higher ups telling him what to do, the elites out of the nation of Esau, or Edom, out of the nation of Edom. Right now, they're complaining of their fathers. Man, it wasn't us. We weren't back there. We have to stop promoting slavery. These museums, they talk too much about it. We have to be progressive. Talk about the positives that came out of our history. That's complaining of an ungodly father, which was really them in the reincarnation, of course. But at the end of the day, they don't want that history being spoken about anymore. And that's them complaining about the past, complaining about what their forefathers have done. Once again, that's prophecy right before our eyes. Because they shall be reproached for his sake. That's right. And I'll grab one last precept. Something that just shows the contrast. I've been just dwelling on this a lot more. 2 Peter 3. I think I brought it out in one of my previous videos last week. 2 Peter 3 verse 13. I'll get right to the point. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And that's exactly what we need. That's what we're fighting for. And that's what Yahweh Shai is going to bring when he returns. A new, meaning refreshed heavens. A new, meaning refreshed earth. It's going to be the same exact earth. It's just going to be refreshed. The laws of the Bible are going to govern the entire earth, are going to govern the land. The laws are going to come forth out of Jerusalem. And that's going to be spearheaded by Yahweh Shai and the 144,000. So yeah, this history happened. It's a part of what the Most High Yahweh had in his plans, a part of his blueprint. But guess what? You can't erase it. It is what it is. We have to acknowledge it and understand that it's really us. It was our sins. We went off. That's why it happened. It is what it is. It's time to move forward and learn from it and now be obedient. It's time to be obedient and just do the Lord's will. Have faith in him and do what he told us to do. And there's going to be a new earth waiting for us. So that's it. That's my takeaway from this. Lord willing, it was edifying to the elect. Kol Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.